Hello, people. Welcome to a Call of Cthulhu 7th edition adventure. You sit isolated on a white rock amidst a sea of green. The clouds twist and turn about you before soaring into the sky, turning in on themselves. There are 3 other rocks nearby, but you cannot make out the people atop them. In front of you, stones rise from the ocean to make a path, and 4 dead men lift you up. They race across the pathway carrying you. "Stop it," one cries. "Stop the deaf, you, scholar, and the warrior, the forgotten and the man of words." A bang, and one of the people grabbing you fall to the ground. 3 remain. They are taking you to a mountain of gold. Behind it, the clouds twist around and around, ending in an infinite point. A hail of bangs, and all but one person is left. They veer from the path and are dragging you to your apartment. Your home. Don't let the blood on the mountain spill on the mountain of gold, or the spiral shall never end. Search for the lost one and you can stop it, it says. He drags you up the stairs. "It hurts," he cries. He drags you to the door. "It hurts! It hurts!" Opening the door, he cries in pain as a shot tears out his shoulder. "It hurts!" And then he throws you on your bed. And Liz, you wake up.
Oh, fuck.
Probably startled.
Yeah.
Probably sweating.
Yeah.
This is probably the 3rd time you've had this dream.
Shit.
You've recently got in contact of some mutual friends.
Mm-hmm.
You know, through a man called Jack Fallon,
Yeah.
who has gone missing for about a week now. These people, with some free time, currently, you have organised to create some sort of search to try and find your friend, because the police are not being particularly helpful.
Yeah.
And have basically labelled him dead. Never going to be found. But you know, specifically you know, that that's probably not the case.
Yeah.
How would you start your day?
Ooh, shit. Well, I'd look at my pills and be like, no, I can last this out. Probably hop for the shower, a cold one, and grab something to eat, and then look at my phone, be like, fuck, I'm gonna miss the bus, and then run to try and catch it.
Yes. Everyone else probably awake with probably nicer dreams. I assume similar circumstances as you get up and go to your meeting in a local coffee shop. I would take that as a yes from everyone. I assume, Luke, you are just writing, she is crazy.
I know, I'm writing, why is Lydia always a drug addict in Harrison?
Oh my god, I'm not a drug addict! Oh, for fuck's sake.
So we start. You put on your coats, or your umbrellas, as it is October in the town of Arkham. It's raining a bit, the sky is grey. As you move through the streets, probably walking to your destination, some of you taking the bus as you live more on the outskirts, you maybe see kids splash in puddles, covered in thick raincoats. Sometimes you spot into local coffee shops, you see students at Miskatonic University clattering on keyboards and talking to each other. On the buses you hear chatter from some guys who are probably going to go and watch the game after whatever studies they have or whatever work or so on. You hear some girls talking about how they're excited and going to go scope out the local mall because there's a sale going on the 25th across the entire mall and everyone's probably going to be there. But eventually, all of you, convening on the same location, a coffee shop in the corner of a corner in this small town. Not many people go there at all, really. In no particular order, who would say they get here first?
Oh, the fucking buses.
Not you. Arkham buses are quite slow.
Well, we could say that Aiden shows up first. He is, after all, used to military punctuality.
That would make sense, yes.
So he's used to his appointments being rather heavily enforced. So yeah, I suppose he would show up, realize that literally everybody else is late, and go pick a table and probably grab a coffee or some such.
Yes, you do so. You're sitting with a nice steaming cup of joe. On punctuality, would either be the man who never sleeps, or your only 2 days off.
Yeah, so I guess I'll come in next.
Okay.
I'll just come in through the door, make sure to close it behind me. I put my raincoat hood down, kind of shake myself a bit so that I'm not the water comes off me. And then I'll look around, and then I'll just I won't go sit down next to you because I don't. Would I know who you are?
That's a good question.
Probably not.
Then I'll just kind of awkwardly lurk by the by a wall, waiting to see if I notice anyone.
The cashier sort of motions you over, asks if you want a drink.
I'll kind of hesitate for a second and then painfully buy I'll just get some water. Which I want.
It's a slow morning, so she wasn't expecting many customers to begin with, so it's fine.
How early is it?
It's probably about 8, 9 o'clock.
Oh, okay, not too bad then. Alright.
I'd like to mention that my coffee is in a travel cup, even though I'm sitting in the place. It's in a travel cup because you never know when you have to leave suddenly.
Oh god.
Next then, Charlie with a Y.
Indeed. You okay there, sir? Completely accidental, by the way. The stats just worked out that way.
Wait, what?
To be exactly like him.
Yeah, it just worked out that it's it's just me,
You can only be
basically.
referred to now as Charlie with a Y.
So yeah, I'll just walk through the door, looking like shit, just tired.
You see 2 people here. Would you like to describe your characters, please?
Okay. So, just as a general description, imagine a generic teenager, awkward, kind of holding this water, looking at it regretfully, contemplating whether or not maybe reading things online and then deciding to actually act on them is a good idea. In a damp, kind of plastic yellow raincoat, regretting his morning.
So on another table, you see a sort of slightly older guy, not much older than him, but a bit older with very short hair, crew cut. He's wearing military fatigues. It's partly because he's a very proud military man, and partly because he doesn't really have many other clothes. You can see quite obviously he's got a massive red scar on the right side of his face. The right side of his face is 80% scar tissue.
And how would you describe yourself?
Quite short, long black hair, square glasses. Just picture short nerdy guy. It's that.
Yeah. Do you sit with anyone else, or do you just get your own coffee and sit on your own?
Yeah, just whatever has the most caffeine in it.
Finally, entering is Liz.
Great.
How would you describe yourself?
Well, she's a bit of a mess. So she gets in. She's kind of done her hair up into a braided bun at the back, and it's still wet. She did run out of the shower, but it is raining outside, so it's understandable. No one will notice. She's just kind of average looking. She's got red hair, really red hair, a dusting of freckles on her cheeks, and just a bit of a jumper on that is also uncomfortably damp. And a little student lanyard that says occult studies on the side. And she walks in, looks at the table she reserved, and, said everyone would meet at, but no one's there. And then sort of looks around and sees the only 3 people in here being really awkward. Good morning, everyone. Are you gonna join me, or does table 22 not mean anything?
Oh.
I'll just kind of look over my shoulder and be like, and I'll just kind of slowly get up and then make my way over and sit at the table.
I'm pretty much the same.
I suppose, yeah, a bit sheepishly, like, oh, she sat at a table. Oops.
So, Elizabeth Walker, first of all, pleasure. She'll handshake everyone, probably almost knock over a glass.
Like you just knocked your microphone clean across the room.
It's fine. So, I'm sorry to call you all out, like, this early in the morning. I know it's not fun. I need to talk to you all about Jack. I know he's been missing for a really long time. And honestly, the police aren't doing anything. And I don't know who else to ask to help with this, because I kind of think it might be my fault. So first
Wait, it's your fault Jack's gone missing?
Well,
Aiden narrows his eyes at you.
yeah,
Where is he?
I don't know, but it might be indirectly. He started prying into some things that I have slight expertise in, and I might have gotten a bit too enthusiastic and told him things that he probably shouldn't know without context. And then he sort of disappeared. Did he say anything weird to any of you? Because I know he hangs out with other people, sort of
Kind of let out a sigh and then just go, is it a drug thing?
No, it's not a drug thing. She holds up her lanyard. I study the occult as an extension of my religious studies course. And it's interesting. And he got pretty interested in it before he disappeared. He was asking some fairly ridiculous questions. So, I'm just worried that he might have gotten himself into a spot of trouble with things he doesn't really understand. And, when you tell your police, the local police, hey, I think my friend might have been kidnapped by a cult, they kind of shrug it off and tell you no, he's dead.
I just start slowly nodding. I wonder why.
Yeah, it's understandable, but I'm just worried. Did he say anything to any of you? Anything at all out of the ordinary?
Not particularly.
Okay.
All of you are probably fairly close with Jack, for different reasons. What's your captain name, Luke? James?
Isaac.
Isaac. You, because he helped you get a job in Arkham after things happened. You two, he's sort of been friends with since childhood, although sort of individual. Like, you two have probably seen each other, although you probably didn't recognise Aiden on first glance, because half his face isn't there.
Oh, yeah.
But yes, generally, you're good friends with him, but he about a week before he disappeared, he was very quiet and distant. And then just suddenly gone.
Oh. So, no, he didn't. Not that I noticed, anyway.
Okay. Does anyone have any idea? Maybe he left town for a bit if he was quiet beforehand. Does anyone have any way of contacting his family or people he knows? Any places he'd go? I'll be honest, I didn't know him particularly well.
As a note, you two probably definitely have met his mother. You know where she lives.
Oh.
You all, maybe except you, knows where he lived.
Right. Okay.
If you want, one of you could roll me a no to see if you could think of any other ways you could investigate this.
Only one of us?
Yes, I'll say only one of you for now, just to make it slightly easier for me, instead of all of you rolling and then definitely succeeding.
Where is no?
It's, should be there. Oh, wait. They changed it. One second. No. I need to get what it is now. No, was it in 6th edition? Thank you. It would be an education roll.
Ah, okay.
Education is no. They just removed the.
I'll roll that.
Yeah, okay.
47
47 is that a success?
versus my 80.
80, then yes, that is a quite good success. You think other places to look would maybe be investigating the news, for they may have information on the case. There's probably a paper written about it, an article, sorry. That strikes your mind. And if you didn't know where Jack lived, you probably could have gone to the Hall of Records and found records of him renting out properties or looking at land or so on and so forth. The same with his mother, who you, by the way, you only know the name of in passing, is a Suzanne Fallon.
Okay.
Well, so I know where his mum lives. I just wondered if maybe he's just been at his mum's this entire time and not told anyone.
Maybe.
Did you check there?
I called her. She would have checked with that first.
She was very distressed.
I don't think she knew where he was. Does he have a track record of disappearing for weeks?
Not that I know of.
No?
Huh?
Do you reckon it's a university thing?
He didn't seem stressed. He was doing quite well from what I know.
Yeah, but are there any scheduled trips?
Are there any scheduled trips?
No.
No? The last a week?
It happens?
Look, I know we're basically strangers here, but no one else is helping. At least no one from the authorities. And I don't know him well enough to know where to start. I need your help.
Fair enough.
Okay. So I'll nod and say, fine, I suppose. Where do you think we should look first? We can try asking around places he was. I heard that the best way to find someone who's gone missing like this is to retrack their steps, find out when he went missing and where he was last seen, and then work from there.
Yeah, I think we should make some form of timeline where he was at any point. So first we have to find somewhere where we know he was.
So when was the last time you spoke to him?
When was it?
Probably would have been about the conversation you were talking about where he seemed to get very energetic and excited was probably at least a month ago. Last time we spoke to him was probably 2-3 weeks ago.
So she'd relay that. What was he asking about?
So he was proposing occult theories on what he was saying the relevance of the shape of a spiral and what it could be used for in occult studies of eternal life.
Okay.
Stuff you hadn't heard of before, like at all.
Yeah.
There were just stints where he was regularly normal. He didn't have any outbursts of occult
You get like
relevance.
particularly enthusiastic about the spiral stuff.
Yeah.
Okay. What about all of you? When was the last time you all saw him, spoke to him?
You probably last spoke to him over like Messenger, and that probably would have been the most recent one then. Probably like a day or two before he went missing.
So do we know the date he went missing? Also, do we know what the date is today?
Yes, so today is the 23rd of October, 2019.
Yep.
He went missing about a week ago today.
Which is when?
Halfway through time. So...
So what was that? A week ago?
Yeah, a week ago today. A week ago from the
So
23rd.
if it's the 23rd, then it is a Wednesday. So a week ago on Wednesday.
Yes. I will get up the calendar as well to confirm that. 23rd was a Wednesday. He went missing on the 16th of October.
Nice.
Okay. This is fun.
Sorry, I'm enjoying this. I'm building a timeline, which should be useful.
Oh yeah. So when did I last see him or
Um,
speak to him?
you probably would have been the least common to speak to him.
Yeah.
Like he comes and visits you every so often, but like where you
a
work
couple of days.
is on like a bit of the outskirts, so there's no
Mm.
reason to go there. But occasionally he pops around, chats. You don't have too much in common besides like childhood friendship, so it's just a case of, hey, how you doing? How's the extended military leave going? Boring. That's pretty neat.
Wish I had that sometime.
So okay, so we question. So the 16th is when he went missing. Yeah.
Is at least the date he was like confirmed. He's not here anymore.
Jack.
Was it his mum that made the missing person report?
It was. She had been, from general knowledge, she had been trying to contact him for about a day or two.
So what time?
Wait, and within that day or two, I'd contact him on Messenger,
Yeah, so you'd contacted him.
but no one else could.
No one else had.
So
That's
So
interesting.
you've contacted him on the 16th.
Well, probably like the 15th.
Yeah, like
Okay.
15.
What did you talk about?
It was fairly arbitrary and boring. It was weirdly a normal conversation for him to suddenly disappear.
Saying nothing out of the
Calm
ordinary.
himself down?
Don't know, it just seemed, I guess, almost unnaturally normal, maybe?
Alright. Current prediction. Alright. We need to go speak to Jack's mum. We need to know why she thought he was missing initially.
Just as a side note, would you know anything about a spiral or it being like a significant thing in his life? Maybe a game he plays or a book he reads?
No.
No?
It's just that's what he was getting very enthusiastic about. Looking back, oddly sporadic sort of intervals.
I apologise, I was making notes.
That's your job.
Yes. So yes, do you have any plans?
Well, I have a lecture at 11, so you guys might have to go without me. I will check the library for things, the like occult section, for anything to like spiral related or dream related. And then, how long do you think this will take? Can I meet up with you lot afterwards? If you're gonna start on this right away.
Yeah, I'll give you my number, and once your lecture finishes, just give me a ring.
I think I might try and go through various official records, see if there's a paper trail of him leaving anywhere. See if there's anything in that avenue.
Okay.
You okay, Chuck?
Yeah.
And you?
Just so I can get my records straight. So he contacted you on the 9th, 2 weeks ago, on a Wednesday, to say that he had mentioned the spiral cult.
Yeah.
And
It was in a break. Yeah.
a couple days later, on the 15th, a Tuesday, you were the last point of contact via messenger. Do you know that it was him? Is there anything that would have dictated it was him?
That is an interesting question.
So can I get your name?
I'll just pull out like a business card. It's not my business card. It's a business card to the place I work. I'll just write my name on the back and hand it over to you.
Oh, thank you.
It's Isaac
Isaac Porter.
Porter.
Nice.
Well, I tell you my name, and I on
Full
a
military
napkin,
rank.
well, yeah, actually, I write
Full
my
military
Sorry.
rank. Full salute.
I write my full rank out, and then put my number under it
You're
on a
You're
napkin.
Sergeant Private, aren't you?
It's private first class, if I remember rightly.
So then, after the 15th.
I'm Charlie.
Okay. So then, Charlie, after
No contact details.
the 15th,
I'll send you.
you made contact
my
with
note.
him, and then the next day on the 16th, his mother compiled and put out an official complaint saying that he was missing.
Hmm.
After just one day, I want to talk to her. And then a week later, it's now the 23rd on a Wednesday, and he's been missing, and there's been no sign of them since.
Has he been like effectively declared dead, or is it just like an unofficial? We're not looking into it. The kid's probably gone.
He is low priority missing.
As a note, by the way, the messages between you two was quite late at night.
So okay, so it's intriguing. We need to do two things. We need to go to. Actually, we can do this in one step. We need to go to Jack's mother. Ask why and when why she put the report out and when, because that way we can figure out first of all whether or not it was in the morning or the evening she put the report out, and how long she had no contact with Jack, because I don't know about you, but if it turns out she put it out in the morning, then that doesn't make any sense, because if she knew that Jack was around and then immediately said he was missing, why would she do that? Do you know what I mean?
Well, if Jack was ignoring messages from her, but then decided to contact me, it still makes sense for her to file the report.
True, but that means is Jack engaged in like not standard behavior? Like why? And that gives us something else to look
might
at.
well-
Would she know if it's like if the calls were being declined or if they just didn't go through?
It might well be that they have like a daily or weekly arranged time to have a conversation.
Yes,
and if
but
you miss that, then that could be a
But that
big red
would
flag.
allow us to plan where he was on our timeline.
Hmm.
We should definitely go and ask.
Exactly. Oh yeah, I think we should go and talk to her.
If there was a missing persons report filed, there would be paperwork on it, as well as paperwork on the following investigation. We can also check through that.
It's also worth noting that we don't know how long it takes for a missing person to file. So it's possible she actually put in the missing persons report before the 16th. In which case, we may have talked to him after his mother assumed he was missing.
Yeah.
Does he live at home, or does he?
He has
He
his
has
own
his own
home.
house.
Okay.
Oh, well, it's an apartment. You
We
know that much.
should check there second. Do we know if the police have been there yet? We assume they have.
There.
You
Is she
haven't
been
heard
keeping-
anything of the sort.
Then we should check as soon as we can.
Has she effectively gone, hey, I think you might have gone into some really shady shit, and they were like, gang? She's like, no, the occult, and they were like, cute.
Yeah,
And I told her
your
to fuck
questioning with the authorities was weirdly short.
Ah, okay.
So I go ahead and gather some napkins up, and write down my number and my full name and rank on each one, and I hand them out to everybody, so that they've got my number and they can ring me as and when things occur.
Okay.
Okay.
So, you two are going to his mum's?
That's
Sounds
fine.
good to me.
Okay.
Yes.
And you were
Also
also
doing.
going there? Okay, that's cool.
What do you think I was doing?
Going on checking on the thing you mentioned.
I thought.
that was Charlie
checking the
doing
paper
it.
trail.
Yeah.
We can
Charlie
go
was
check
gonna
that
check
afterwards
the
if you want.
I don't know if it's a good idea for 3 people to
Mm.
go
How do you,
interrogate.
How are you gonna check the paper trail? How do you plan to do that?
Freedom of information requests. That helps. Googling.
Yeah.
Oh,
You should be able to go to the library and
oh
ask.
yes, you're the computer whiz.
You could always just hack into the police database.
I think that's very illegal.
Can you do that?
No.
Just silent.
Right.
I see. In that case,
Serbian
we can meet up with you afterwards.
Alright.
Let's say later today. We can meet in the cafe where I work. That way we might be able to get some discounts. Which is the Yellow Raincoat, and I'll give them the address. Alright, I'll obviously exchange, we'll all exchange numbers. And then I'll say, okay then, sorry, I didn't get your name. What was it?
Aiden.
Aiden.
I mean, it is on the piece of paper I just gave you.
Yeah, I was, sorry. Then, in that case, alright then, Aiden. You know the mother's address, right?
Yes.
Let's go talk to Susan.
Let's go.
Awesome.
Okay.
I'll fuck off to my lecture.
You go to your lecture. So I'll do you two, then I'll do Charlie's inquiries with freedom of information.
Paperwork.
And then we can go your look in the library.
Yeah.
So you two, you go to Suzanne Fallon's house. She lives sort of centre-ish of Arkham, not right in the town square, but close enough to be able to walk to all the main shops. You know, she's about 50, going on to 60 years old.
Oh, right, okay.
Lives alone. Father is deceased. Yes, you know where she lives. Nice little 2-story house. You recall that Jack mentioning that his mother still kept his room in tip-top condition in case he ever fell on hard times.
Oh.
This time of morning, she should probably be in. So I assume you go up and knock on the door. So yes,
Is it still raining?
it's pittering down a little bit. She opens up the door, and you can tell almost immediately she's visibly tired. Sort of her blonde hair is sort of a messy, messy scraggled bunch. Her clothes are almost loose against her bony frame. She mentions, she goes, oh, Aiden, is that you?
Yes, ma'am.
Oh, and you must be...
I'm Isaac. I'm one of Jack's friends.
Oh,
Hey, do you mind if we talk to you? It won't take long.
of course, yes. Come on.
It's about Jack.
Okay. She walks on in,
Mm-hmm.
quite slowly, moves over to her living room. You see there's an undrunk cup of coffee sitting on the bedside, sort of on the side table. It's cold. You can almost tell from here.
Oh.
She sits down, nervously, moves about, looking at you, then at the wall, then about. Yes, what is it you wanted to ask? Hopefully you'll be more use than the police.
Well, yeah, that's what we're here about. We're actually trying to find Jack ourselves. We agree that police aren't doing as much as they should be. We're taking matters into our own hands. We're just trying to establish a timeline, like all of the events that have happened, so we can figure out where he might be.
Yes, well, he always, after he moved out, he always came to my house on every Tuesday, without fail, except the Tuesday of the 15th. And that got me worried, because he normally messages me throughout the week, but he hadn't at all. And I was just worried, so I contacted the police and I told them what I was worried about. And, well, now we're here. It's another Tuesday's passed, and he still hasn't come.
Did he show up fine on the Sorry, did he show up fine on the 8th?
Yeah, he did. She sort of silences for a bit and thinks. Yeah, he did.
I see. And he hadn't contacted you all week before that?
Sorry, what was this? Could you reiterate your statement?
Sorry, so I'm asking Susan whether or not she has had any communication at all previous to the Tuesday the 15th. So that's on
So the Tuesday before then,
yeah,
he was fine, and every day before then he had talked to me, but after that Tuesday he was just silent.
And does he normally message you in the morning or the evening?
Throughout the day, normally in the evening, because he has university in the mornings. Could you make me a charm or persuade roll, please?
Yes, I can do that for you, good sir.
Would you like to say anything as well, Aiden?
Well, no. To be honest, he's mostly just sat there,
That's not good.
just
Making sure she doesn't run.
no, no.
She does every now and then glance at your scars, because the last time you probably saw her,
Oh,
you were quite
yeah.
young.
Yeah, she
It was
probably
probably
has.
before you joined the military, so...
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
So, sorry, just because I haven't played Call of Cthulhu
Yes.
in like a year,
Yeah.
how do I play?
So
So I roll
Lower.
lower
Yeah,
than
it
that
has to be
number?
lower
Lower.
than the number,
Then you succeed.
71.
which
Yes.
that's a success.
Nice.
It's not a great success, but it is a success. So
Okay.
she goes, he came to my home on Tuesday. He had come from... Word is, he'd been going to the outskirts of Arkham to meet with a man who lived around the area. I don't know him. I don't know about him, but, neighbours of neighbours of neighbours have told me. Although, good thing is, I don't know if he told any of you. He probably didn't, but he recently got a girlfriend.
Oh.
A girlfriend?
Yes, I contacted her, and she, Jessica, her name is. She hadn't heard from him for a couple of days as well.
Do you mind giving us her contacts? Just so we can check
yes,
it out.
Of course. Here. She gives you the contact
Nice.
details. She... Give me a second. Yeah, I know she lives on College Street. I don't know which house, but I know she lives there. So if there's anywhere to ask around, maybe the area.
Jessica what?
I don't know her second... What are you asking?
Yeah,
No,
yeah,
no,
yeah,
I'm
yeah.
just. Is there a second name?
No, there was no second name
Okay.
specified. Amazing. Thank you. This has been very helpful.
Would you like coffee or anything? Thank you so much. Please get my boy back. Please get him back to me.
Do you want anything, Aiden?
We will, Mum. Don't worry. We'll be on our way now. Obviously we've got a lot to look into, so if you don't mind, we'll be on our way.
One last thing before we leave. This girlfriend, Jessica.
Yes.
I got a little flip book. Do you know when Jack started meeting with her?
I think it was maybe a month ago.
A month.
It was quite a quiet thing. Her family's very religious. Doesn't, she sort of snickers a little bit. The whole wedlock type of person. They go to the Arkham Community Church, if it helps. As I know, the Arkham Community Church is there's two churches in Arkham. That is the one that the bigots go to.
That's the more.
That's the Westboro
The
Baptist
Lord is
Church
certainly
equivalent.
there.
I nod tastefully as to give an understanding kind of like, I see. Mhm. We'll be careful.
Yes, don't go meeting her father.
I will try and avoid it. Avoid. Alright. In that case, I'll kind of nod and says, if we find out anything, we'll message you. Okay.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
I'll give her my number.
Yes,
If you can think of anything, send me a message.
I will. Thank you. Thank you so much.
And I guess-
You're much more useful than goddamn Henry Bowers. Henry Bowers being the sheriff of Arkham.
Yep. Okay.
I have a quick question.
Yes.
For you, Mr. GM. As a military guy,
Mm-hmm.
do I have any weapons?
Yeah, you probably would. We can say for now, you just have like a .45 automatic handgun. Obviously not on you, because I don't think that's...
Automatic, semi-auto, shortly.
So I have semi. .45 handgun. Which is standard, police, military, weapons.
Yep.
Okay.
Standard issue.
Standard issue.
Would I have it on me, or
Probably not.
I would assume that I don't have an open carry permit.
No, and also you're in a tiny college town. There's
Yes.
no reason to open carry.
If it
No,
helps, I have a weapon.
Is it your wits?
No.
Oh,
It's
you-
a gun.
No.
Oh,
I've
it's
got a
a-
fucking knife. Yeah, I've got a Swiss Army knife.
Oh,
Why?
It belonged to
Be
my
very
dad. It's always a hand down that I've just always kept on me.
Oh.
It's really useful.
Yeah. Any other questions?
Okay. Do I have anything else? Is it just that?
For now we could say, if you could think of anything else your character would reasonably have, just tell me and I'll say yes or no.
Fair enough.
Same thing with all of you, basically. Yes, unlike Shadowrun, this isn't like exclusive, like what you have on your gear list is what you have.
Yeah. Fair enough.
We can reasonably assume you have things.
yeah.
After that, where is both of your next destination?
So,
I guess it's probably best if we head. Do you want to head to his house next? We need to be able to get in.
Can we just talk for a second?
Absolutely.
I have some theories. So, I pull out kind of like my shit notebook, which looks a bit like this, and I show you my timeline, which I've constructed.
Yeah.
And I basically I guess we just kind of find a little somewhat cover in an alleyway somewhere and flip through. So this is what we know so far. We know that Jack has started a relationship with this Jessica who lives on College Street.
Mm-hmm.
I plan to go talk to Charlie about this, see if he can look through the Hall of Records to find out where Jessica officially lives, or if there's another way he can find it. If he doesn't have anything, we can talk to Elizabeth because she goes to university, so maybe she knows more about this Jessica person.
Mm-hmm.
She might have closer insight into what he was doing, so we definitely should go look into Jessica. Other than that, on terms of our timeline, we know that Charlie was talking to Jack on the 15th, but Jack then did not speak to his mother, which was the scheduled kind of every week thing, and was talking to he messaged her at least once every day previous to the 15th. So we know that our estimated point of our estimated event, so whatever happened to Jack, happened at some point, possibly in the evening on the Tuesday the 15th. That's my guess.
Or alternatively, the morning.
Yes, or just
overnight.
our time frame is a couple hours, in the evening time. So something post that. If something was drastically wrong, I'd imagine Jack would have told Charlie at that point. Yeah, that's my current theory.
Right.
I mean, I feel like the police might be involved in some degree, whether that's just they've been paid off or they don't want to touch it. I don't know. It could just be the police around here.
Or they could just not be taking it seriously.
That's possible. Honestly, I don't know enough of the police here. But if you do want to ask more about the police, there's always Henry Bowers, who, the sheriff. We can always go talk to him about it, see what he's doing.
I doubt he'll see us, to be honest.
No.
Could both of you roll me an idea roll?
Indeedy.
Idea isn't on the sheet.
It's intelligence. It says underneath
Yeah.
idea.
Oh, okay. Sorry. Nat 6, boy.
Oh, fuck.
Shit.
Well, I got 50.
Is that a
So
success?
that is a success.
Okay, so both of you get two different ideas that can assist in your investigation.
Okay.
You get the idea that if you want to get access to the house, either breaking in or you could get in contact with the landlord
I see.
who would
Okay.
have a spare key. And you get the idea that the police would have to at least have a missing persons report with information they have gathered, which would be at the police station. So you could,
That's what I was also checking.
yes, so you could go to the police station and try and request that form, or at least speak to the person who was in charge of the investigation. Because if you have information about it at any degree, they sort of have to legally speak to you.
So I'll voice this.
Yeah, so obviously we do need to speak to some form of authority about what they know to see if we can either legally or less than legally acquire what their knowledge is.
I think a good plan might be. I don't know if Charlie's already going to go and sort that out. So
He might well do,
if he doesn't, when we meet back up at the Yellow Raincoat, we can all group up and then go then. Because
yes.
I don't really want to go to the police
Strength in
station
numbers.
with a small number. Because if they are involved, we're effectively rocking up to the Lion's Den and being like, "We're on to you," and then being like, "Come in this back room."
Yeah. So I was also thinking, in terms of his flat, which we should probably go to. We should go to his apartment at some point.
Yeah.
Obviously, we can just break in, but
Mhm.
alternatively, we might see if we could talk to the landlord, see if that they'll be willing to lend us their spare key or
I'm
let
just
us in.
worried that they won't want to let us in.
That's quite possible.
I mean, this is where your character excels at, Luke.
Hmm. I have an idea. We should look into your plan. Let's see if we can get entrance. First, we'll try the legal way. I have a plan.
Okay.
So we'll start heading off to wherever this landlord is.
So yeah,
Well, I imagine we'll just look up who the landlord
Yeah,
is.
you can,
first.
you can quite easily go through databases and find the landlord and then continue on from there. But Charlie, where are you looking for first? Like, are you just looking at it as a general internet and newspaper search first?
Yeah, I'll just gather surface level info
Could you make
first.
me a library use roll?
Could you be texting them information as you go?
Yeah, I can assume you've been contacting each other with
Mhm.
stuff as that.
33 versus my 75.
So that is a. I believe is that below?
The next small number.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is.
That is a hard success. Or I believe it's a hard success. Give me a second. I need to get the. Yes. That is a hard success. It's not an extreme difficulty success, but it's enough. So. Looking through, you find that there is a report over the newspaper written by one Dan Wills, about his disappearance. You also notice, through further investigation, that at around the same time for the past 5 years, someone has gone missing around this week of October. The last case pertains to a young boy, about 15 years old, who went missing after a sermon at the Church Home and Family Congregate, which is the Arkham Community Church. The local community, so Scarlet, a woman from the local community, Scarlet Ward, stated that this travesty cannot go ignored. If anyone finds any information, please come to me so the community can deal with the issue properly, which caused a controversy with the police. And finally, yes, all of these articles were written by the same Dan Wills. That's just a general look onto it. His actual article on him was fairly bland. Kids gone missing, police are looking into it, essentially.
So, this is one person every 5 years?
Every year for the past
every year.
5 years, around the same time period.
So we're burning the church, right?
Yes. So that's what you find through a general search. Is there anywhere else you would be looking after this?
Yes. Next, I'm gonna try search for the investigation report from the police.
Okay.
So, filing whatever I need to get a hold of that.
So you probably have to go to the police station itself. This is still a fairly archaic system they use. They probably use full-on official files instead of digital ones.
So behind the times.
They are quite.
Okay.
Although you do find out through the articles that a Detective Terence Odd was the man who was investigating it before the sheriff closed it as a null investigation, essentially.
What was that name? Detective?
What's that? What's the name?
Yeah.
Terence Odd. T. Odd. That's actually a character trait of his. He gets frustrated when people call him it. Can you turn off the light, please? Ambience. So yes, that's what you find through the general investigation. Again, the police do need to go to the police station itself. Anywhere else you'd want to look, or is that the next destination?
What about reports of Jack moving and just not telling anyone?
So you need to go to the Hall of Records for that.
Okay.
In which wouldn't be too difficult. The Hall of Records itself is inside the Miskatonic University Library, which is the main library in this area. You probably get there before Liz, because Liz would be in her lecture. You being a resident of town, you can quite easily get access to it. Could you make me another library use roll? Also, would you guys have sent him the information that you have gathered, just through text, or are you going to wait until you meet up?
I was going to wait until we meet again.
Yeah, we've not made any groundbreaking discoveries that would warrant actual
that we
contact,
know of
really.
currently.
Right.
As in, just so I know you've got all the clues, what have you noted down so far?
I have noted a fair amount. So we know that Susan, who lives in the centre of town, and who lives alone, likes to keep in contact with Jack, meets up every Tuesday, and has constant kind of contact with him, and is relatively close. We know that on Tuesday the 15th, on the kind of scheduled time, he did not show. And we know that Susan thinks that Jack has a girlfriend, and that this girlfriend is called Jessica, who lives on College Street. They started going out a month ago. Her family is religious. and we should avoid her father.
Mhm.
They go to the church, the culty one, not the culty one, the bigoted one. We know that. Let's see.
Fundamentalist one.
Yes, fundamentalist is the word.
We know that Jack normally messages her in the evening because he goes to university in the mornings. We know that he had been heard to basically head out to the outskirts to meet some man, name unknown, for some reasons.
Yes.
That was mentioned.
I missed that.
Yes. She was like, he's been heard going to the outskirts to meet some man. He lives on the outskirts of Arkham.
Oh.
I got it.
This is why he takes the notes and I don't.
We still think the last point of contact was with Charlie, although we haven't talked to Jessica or know when he went out, which I didn't ask because I forgot. And I think that's it. Also, not related, but friendly reminder, mild discounts on the 25th. That's in a couple of days. It's the 23rd, so that's on Friday. Friday big discount sale.
Yes. Okay, I just want to make sure you got all of it in case you missed anything.
Yes. Also, second reminder, there's also a game on at some point. We should look into that at some point.
Oh, right.
Oh my god.
Wait, what?
When
They're going to watch the game.
the game being
Yeah,
like,
there is a game on, which is an event. It was specifically mentioned, so I wrote it down.
It was fluff text at the beginning of the.
There's no such thing as fluff text in an
true.
adventure game.
Yeah, you would know as you have made some.
Yes.
Yes.
I think that's everything so far.
Okay, brilliant. Just want to make sure.
Also, the sheriff is not helpful. His name is Henry Bowers, and he has an official report, and so has to have at least made some form of investigation. He might not be the one running that investigation, but we can at least find something from it. So we should check it out.
And what? Sorry, I just want to make sure everyone had that. What was? So you were looking at stuff you heard. So could you make me another library use roll, please?
17.
17.
That's just a hard one.
Okay.
It's close to extreme.
It's close to extreme. So nothing in particular about him, just records of him renting out the property he currently lives at. There's no other real records of him besides birth certificate and such. Nothing else to be found in the Hall of Records itself.
Okay.
But you do find out about that as well.
So Jack was a university student.
Yes.
What course was it?
He was on a advanced mathematics course.
Brilliant. So the Hall of Records you said was in the university?
Yes, it is in the university.
Okay. So the university almost probably have records of handed-in work, coursework, or problem sheets, etc.
Yes.
So I can go check that to see if recently he's handed in work to the university, because we don't know if he was still attending lectures during this time.
That's a very good point. Just on second thoughts, actually, I think I would have sent one text to Charlie. So we've heard tell that he has a girlfriend called Jessica
Who lives on College
who lives on College Street. Is there anything in the university records that alludes to this person's existence?
So, assuming that was sent before,
Yeah,
with your hard success, that is what the hard success would have gotten you.
Okay.
You find, luckily, there is only one Jessica that lives on
College Street.
You find her, sort of the record of her house where she lives. It is, looking for it, you find that just sort of general notice. It's noted that she is a contracted graphics designer, working out of her own home.
I see. Well, I guess I'll hand back a fairly comprehensive report to
Okay.
these two.
So she's not a
university
she's
student.
not a university student, because that was something that was interesting.
Do we have a house number?
Yes.
You do.
What is it?
What's it? 2?
Second name.
Oh yeah,
second
also-
name, Watkins. Jessica Watkins.
This is reminding me of a Shadowrun campaign, but okay.
It might be. I might have used the name Watkins before. It's a common,
Go to.
yeah.
I think that was what.
So do we?
I think it might have been Professor Life.
Yes.
No, I'm thinking of the Shadowrun Returns on Steam.
Oh!
the one campaign
yeah.
in that.
It might be, yeah. Anyway, you said you were going to So, would you still have access to the university? Anything? Would you still know any lecturers there? Lecturers?
Well, from my education, wasn't that like
Yes.
close to world?
Yeah, you definitely.
So yeah, I'd know some people here.
Yeah, you definitely know the people there, so you could probably get a conversation in with a few of them. They'd know who you are. Probably actually ask you to come in once or twice to do talks, seeing as you are in fact a successful.
I mean, I'm half in the maths department.
You are half in
apparently.
yeah.
You got CS and maths.
Yes, you do have CS and maths. You probably would actually know probably the same maths lecturers
Yeah.
who were friends with him, who were teaching him.
Yeah.
So if you want to go and talk with them,
Yes.
yes.
Sure.
So yeah, you have to wait about half an hour for them to finish the lecture.
In that time, can I go through the chat logs and try and trace back IPs to see if there's an IP difference between the messages?
You can do. Could you make me a computer use roll?
57.
No,
That's a success.
Not too hard. You
Equals MC cubed.
you do so. No, it's so a couple of them. Like, there's a lot of similarities, but you can just assume one IP address is his computer and one's his phone. The last one was from his phone.
I see.
Yes. The maths lecturer himself, an older gentleman, large bushy beard, bald head. Charlie, long time no see. What's brought you around here?
A missing student.
Oh, Jack. I
Yeah.
assume only missing student here, except the ones who go out drinking. But we know them.
Yeah, they'll come back eventually.
Eventually.
Yes, I came to look in to see if he handed in worksheets, coursework, etc. recently,
Oh,
before the disappearance.
sort of. Of course, yes, it's fine. In fact, could you make me a credit rating roll? You have that, I believe.
Yep. 18?
That's a success.
That's a hard success.
Yes, of course. I trust you. I mean, I've taught you, so I know you're at least reliable. Shows you it. The hand-ins quite consistent for most of the year until October about begins. Then begins to go down. Still fairly regular, although not as quick as it once was. And then the first late hand-ins begin once they begin on the date of. Allow me to get it up here. It would be.
Is this when they were asking about the spirals?
Huh?
Is this when he was asking about the
I've
spirals?
got a specific date here
Okay.
for when that would be happening. I've just got to find notes. Okay, it would be about 3 weeks before he disappeared. That's when the first late hand-in was. And then it's consistent on that.
So 3 weeks. Second.
Yeah, so that would have been on the 2nd of October.
Yes. So about, not exactly 3 weeks, but that time frame. So from about the 2nd of October...
Wait, 3 weeks from today? Or 3 weeks from
3
when he
weeks.
was missing?
3 weeks, 3 weeks from...
So today was the make it the 2nd.
Yeah, so from today.
Yeah, exactly.
So I had to mental
Yeah,
maths
no,
that.
that's fine. I get it. Dates are fucking horrible.
Yeah.
So yes, from about the 2nd, slow down, until eventually, until on the 15th, was when you talked to him last, when there was a hand in, that's the first one where it just hasn't been handed in, and then nothing else. That's what you get from that.
Wait, so this lecturer knows Jack?
Yeah, he's taught Jack.
Okay. Then I guess I'll ask, was he still attending lectures?
It's sort of similar to the hand-ins. They were at first, frequent. Then slowed down, he missed 1 or 2, until eventually he stopped attending for about the week before he disappeared. And then he disappeared.
I see.
What was officially declared missing. Finish off him.
Sorry, so you said he stopped, just for my notes,
Yeah.
you said he stopped attending lectures mainly around a week before he was missing.
Missing, yes.
So the 9th.
Mm.
No, not the 9th, sorry. The 9th.
That's the nice thing. The spiral day.
Mm-hmm.
Anything else?
No, I think that's everything.
Okay.